hi everyone. Welcome to the third episode of the RSP podcast, Society Speak podcast. Today we are talking about body image. At school last week, we had a sort of workshop kind of thing on Wednesday during our registration and then our first two periods where we discussed this today. So that's what we're going to talk about this episode. I'm joined today by our other host, Abdur, and our two guests today, Alessia and Phoebe. Both of my everyone too. How are you guys?
Hi.
Yeah, so just to start things off, because before that session, we in the bulletin, Miss Drake announced that we did a survey for the past year, and that we found that the results at least showed that there was a problem throughout the school, that people were not feeling comfortable in their own skin. So just to start with, were you guys surprised by that, or did you know that there was a problem, not necessarily in school, but in society in general, that there was a problem to do with young people's body image?
I feel like a lot of teenagers nowadays have a lot of pressure from like social media and society. There's a lot of like standards that people feel like they have to live up to. So it's understandable that people feel insecure about their bodies, you know? It's sad, but it's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like as well, you see a lot of things on the media that maybe like are very stereotyped for both boys and girls, and that's like a lot of pressure, like Alessia said, to like live up to and everything. So I just think it's not that surprising, but I think it's definitely something that needs to be talked about, which is why like I'm glad that we did the survey and everything and how it's being brought up now and it's more common.
Yeah, I feel like now it's so much more common when you like turn on social media and stuff, all celebrities, everybody, people can literally get famous off looking good. And I feel like, to be, what is stereotypically good looking or attractive is so much more like marketable. So like beauty companies and stuff will use those type of people to like put across products that will, make you look better and stuff. And I feel like for a lot of people, there's a lot of pressure to kind of look the same way as others.
Yeah,
Definitely.
like, before there was this cream that you used to like make your skin whiter, and now obviously you've got like fake tan and everything.
Yeah.
And there's so many things, you're literally changing yourself to be more like stereotypically beautiful. It's the same with like colored contacts and everything. Like people are so set on changing themselves to what they believe like society's beauty standards are.
Yeah.
And I feel like, why should a certain way someone looks be beautiful? Like, why can't we all appreciate how unique we all are? And that's beautiful, you know?
But it's a big thing in the subcontinent where a lot of beauty products are saying this thing makes you fair or whatever. And of course, it sells. I guess it works. I don't know. It shouldn't work, but I feel like society, like in general, encourage you to be stereotypically beautiful, I guess, or stereotypically handsome. And just I don't know, just the nature of media, just nature of advertisement, you get paid kind of if you're stereotypically
you become successful off looking good.
Yeah.
Like it's not fair, but it's how it is.
Also, if you look at like famous people on TikTok, they all like looking at them, they look so similar. They're white, like good looking or stereotypically good looking, thin or muscular. They've got brownish hair or blonde hair, and the girls are thin, the guys have got muscles. Like it's very, very like, oh, this is what you should look like. And it's the same on like magazines. Like you see women that are skinny with blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin, and men who have got muscles. It's like
It must be hard for young girls or boys to look up to that and think, do I have to live up to that standard to be appreciated?
Yeah, for sure. And it's a kind of tough position for like these businesses or whatever, because you do what you want, you do what you do to get money or whatever, you to be successful in your business, whatever. And if society like gets drawn to that, then like how do you change it really?
Yeah,
It makes money.
But I think like slowly it's changing. Like you definitely see a lot more inclusivity in like, for instance, movies and everything, and just small things like that, which are giving people that sort of like, okay, this can be beautiful. This is what is seen as well. Like this is included, like my diversity and everything. So I think like it's becoming a better thing, but as long as we just need to keep talking about it.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like in some TV shows that a lot of us watch, like for example, Riverdale or something, they act as if they're like 17 when in reality they're like 25 and they don't have acne. They, you know, they have a lot of muscle and stuff. And we always think we have to look that way as a teenager. But actually that's not true. Like that's not how it is in real life.
Yeah. And you see like so many celebrities as well getting like hip dip fillers, or you know, people are getting like muscle implants. Like I didn't even know that was a thing, but it like people keep on getting them, and it's falsifying what beauty or handsome is, you know.
Yeah, and it's unrealistic body image, right? But at least you know, at least we realize that, you know, it is unrealistic. So I think that's the first step, you know, especially us young generation, realizing that, you know, this is not attainable. This is whatever technology they've used, and it just not. So I think that first realization that, you know, that that some of these things aren't attainable, you know, I think is a good first step to realizing that, you know, you can be proud of your body, really.
Yeah, accept yourself. Learn to accept yourself. Yeah.
And it definitely takes like a lot of time, and you know, I think only very few people have it down to sort of like a T. But I think even on for those people, you're going to get those days where maybe, you know, you're not really liking your body that day, and that's like fine. But it's when it's like continuous every single day and you're comparing yourself always to others, like you have to start learning that your body is beautiful and who you are is beautiful no matter what society standards are.
Yeah, it's very hard to do that.
And and I guess the line you could say that, you know, there's a thin line, of course, and that line is probably like when you use what you look like and compare to other people, and you use that to determine your own value.
Yeah.
And when that happens, then you can, of course, you can say that, okay, I want to be stronger, I want to be fitter. There's not necessarily anything wrong with that. But when it affects your overall happiness in long term, then that's where the line, I guess, crosses.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with wanting to better yourself, or like you feel, okay, I could be doing this better in terms of like how I look, or maybe I could get fitter. That's completely fine. But you do that for yourself and to make yourself look good, not because that's what everybody else thinks you should be like. That's what, you know, these famous people or whatever, this is what they look like, so I've got to look like that also. That's not how it should be. If you want to get fitter, you get fitter on your own accord, for your own, you know, happiness and self-worth.
Yeah, be the best version of yourself, because that's what's going to make you happy, you know?
Yeah. I also think there's like very unrealistic standards about like acne and like stretch marks and everything, because so many people get them and so many people are like, oh my God, like this isn't normal. Other people don't have it, but so many people do. And we, you know, for instance, for girls, acne is covered up by makeup. Like they've pushed it so far, and it's like, oh, you have a pimple, like use this product, use this product, use this product. And I'm sure like for guys there are different ways that they're sort of making you, like maybe from different parts of like your body or something, that they're trying to get you to cover up because they think it's not natural, but it is. And so many people have it, and it's just like, it's not right saying you have to cover up these things that are seen as like flaws when they're not flaws. They're natural.
Like, why does acne have to be seen as something that's ugly? Like, why can't we all just accept that that's how life is going to be and we have to accept it, you know?
Yeah. Also, like some people, they literally cannot like help it, because it's like, it's your hormones, it's genetics, it's everything. You can't stop it.
Yeah. But interesting you talk about acne, because from my perspective at least, the thing about you know, skincare and acne, I feel like is more like girls focus on it more, but for boys the alternative, when girls, I guess, focus on acne, I guess we focus on size really. And if you're thin, then I wouldn't say you're bullied for it or you're picked on it, but it's just not seen as something good. And if you're especially when your body is naturally skinny or naturally
you tend
small.
to appear less what they consider masculine, or if you're skinny.
Masculine.
Well, that's completely natural. Also, guys that are short, there's nothing they can do about that. That's just how they are. Whereas I think a lot of short guys are looked down on, and like it's not their fault. You can't change anything about that. And it's just creating insecurities over something that you really shouldn't be insecure over.
Definitely.
Definitely. I think like for guys, like short guys, I think it's for girls, it's like tall girls. I think that's the sort of differentiation. But you can't really control your height.
You can't,
No, you can't do that.
You know, you shouldn't be able to judge someone on their height. I don't know. That's never really made sense.
Why is that even like a big deal to even talk about? Because like if there's tall girls, there's gonna be tall guys for tall girls, and if there's short guys, there's gonna be short girls for short guys. Like, what's the big issue about the height? You know, like why is that even a topic to talk about? Like,
true.
And going back to what Ibrahim said about being like skinny or slim, when people tell you like if they say, "Oh, you're so skinny, you should eat more," do you ever eat? Oh my god.
Yeah. Skinny shaming is the same thing as like fat shaming. I don't think people understand. Like you shouldn't talk about other people's bodies in general. Like don't address it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can make it as a joke, but even if you're close to them, you have no idea what they're feeling. You know?
Yeah.
It's the safe options kind of just stay away from it. Just don't make jokes on it. Don't
unnecessary comments on
don't comment on it, and you shouldn't feel the need to comment on it anyway. It's not realistically, it's not your business. It's them. It's how they are. It's how they were made, and you leave that with them.
And if you see a friend that maybe is going through a hard time and they've lost like a lot of weight, and you feel worried about them, and that's why you're asking, then that's fine, because it's the way that you say something. You know, you're not just saying eat a burger because you're skinny. You're saying like, is something going on? Are you okay? You're looking slimmer, you know, something like that. Yeah.
But there's also like with misconceptions with like eating disorders and everything, and how a lot of people view like anorexia, you have to be skinny to be anorexic, which is not true in any case. And it's the same with like bulimia. Like that's not true, because anorexia is like sort of prohibiting yourself from eating, and you don't have to be slim to do that. You know, that might be the result that people want, sadly, but it's like you have to rid yourself of what you think eating disorders or even any mental health disorders look like. They don't have a look, you know?
Yeah. But you guys, if you play sport, if you exercise or whatever, is there any proportion of your motivation for doing this to look better? Or is it purely I want to feel good? Because I feel there's always a human tendency to look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I've been eating too much or whatever, right?
Yeah, I think it's a really hard topic, because once you start exercising a lot, it could turn into an addiction where you feel like you have to exercise, otherwise you're going to gain weight, or you have to eat this certain way because you're going to gain weight, or you're losing too much weight or something. So I think it's good to always focus on how your body feels and just go along with that. Eat healthy food, go along with that. Don't let it turn into something like negative and draining, which it can, because you feel like you have to be muscular if you lift weights, and maybe your body won't react as quickly as other people, you know?
Yeah. Also, listening to your body when you exercise is super important, because I've had people say like, "Oh, I'm like exhausted. I've been on a run like 6 times this week," and it's like your body needs a break. If your body's saying it's exhausted, you need to listen to it. And it's the same with like diet culture, for instance. Like diet culture is terrible. It's advertised all the time, but it's so bad. You need like food, you need all the food groups. That's why they are food groups. You need every single one. You can't completely cut carbs out of your life, because they're your main source of energy. And people are like, "Oh, I need to cut my carbs." It's like, no.
No, realistically, eat whatever you want to eat. Obviously, as long as you keep yourself healthy, that's important. That's nothing to do with your body. If you're healthy, and that's everyone should at least try and be. That's important. But I feel like being healthy is not necessarily defined as having a nice body or looking good. you can be skinny and you can be healthy. You can be, a bit bigger and you can be healthy. That's not the problem. And like, I agree with Phoebe. Like, when you exercise and stuff, don't overwork yourself because you feel like, oh, if I don't, I'm going to gain weight. Or if I eat carbs, I'm going to gain weight.
Mm-hmm.
Do eat whatever you feel comfortable with eating and exercise as much as you feel like you should. And listen to your body. It's important.
Yeah.
It should be a balance, everything should be balanced and you just have to listen to your body.
Yeah, because they say even if you truly listen to your body, then even you won't even eat many unhealthy foods, because when you eat unhealthy, couple hours later you'll feel bad. So if you actually are truly listening to your body, there's no need, you won't eat unhealthy. Because a lot of the argument people make is, oh, I feel like I want to eat chocolate every day, or I want to eat chocolate for every meal, whatever. So are you saying that I should just follow that urge and eat? But the argument against is, no, if you truly listen to your body, you wouldn't want to eat these kind of food all the time.
And if you deprive yourself of what you're craving, then eventually you're just going to want to eat everything that you crave. Like, you're just going to want to binge eat a lot. And that's how eating disorders can start. You start depriving yourself and then you overeat, and then you deprive and overeat. Yeah. You just have to eat a little bit of chocolate just to let your body have that taste. Then you won't feel like it anymore. It won't be on your mind all the time.
Yeah. Also, just if you feel because obviously chocolate is okay in moderation, but if you're gonna eat 2 bars every day, it's just going into your fridge and reaching for strawberries or fruit just instead, or having it on the side or something as something else. It's just important to make sure your body is getting all the nutritions. You can have that piece of chocolate, you can have it, but you also need to remember everything else. You need to eat your vegetables, your fruits, your minerals, vitamins, and everything. And it's the same if you don't think you're getting vitamins or minerals, you can take the tablets and everything that can help restock you full of iron and everything, because they're all really they're needed for your development and everything.
I feel like that comes with your own self-discipline, that you can discipline yourself that, okay, I know I shouldn't be eating too much of this, so I'm not going to, and I'm going to reach for have a salad or something. And that comes with just you, as you progress as a person, you slowly learn to discipline yourself and have self-control.
Yeah, it's definitely a learning process.
Yeah, and it's not easy. It's not easy to self-discipline yourself properly.
And I think before we spoke about how sometimes you're not going to feel comfortable in your body. Some days you're not going to feel your best. Some days you're probably going to crave a lot of junk food or a lot of food. You're going to be hungrier than normal. You just have to listen to yourself and accept that. And then tomorrow start again and be back on your health journey,
Yeah, definitely.
Do you guys...
Go. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys think that there's a large difference with stereotypes between girls and boys with body image and eating, and what obviously there's different standards of society, but what do you guys think of individually for boys versus girls?
I feel for a boy, to an extent, it's looked down upon to have some form of insecurity about your body. Let's say someone doesn't feel insecure about their skin. That's it's looked down upon. You shouldn't feel like that, But at the same time, boys should also be go to the gym, be big and masculine. That's what society is considered. That's how a boy should look essentially. Whereas for girls, I feel it's not more accepted, I guess, to feel insecure about your skin and stuff. And also beauty norms are completely different for both.
Yeah, I feel girls talk more about their feelings and stuff, so they do express their insecurities, so then it is more accepted. But with boys, like you said, it's quite looked down upon and it's not very much accepted. But we all feel the same way at the end of the day. We're all teenagers, we're all trying to learn about our body changing, we're all trying to find what works for us, our exercise, with our food. It should all be accepted equally.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason, I have no idea why. Yeah, girls, for some, they discuss more. And of course, that's a great thing. Just to discuss your feelings there. But also generally, in terms of entire world, because I think more and more people are focusing on mental health. So from both sides, boys and girls, everyone generally is talking more about their feelings, and there's less shame in expressing, you know what, I'm not feeling good today.
Yeah. I think the issue with guys not talking about enough has come on from like years and years and years worth of like toxic masculinity, where there is this sort of prescribed ideal of what a man should be. Like they should be strong, and they shouldn't worry about these things because that they are supposed to be like the strong person in the household. And I think it's going to take time to reform those stereotypes. But as like Ibrahim said, like it's definitely becoming more talked about now. And I think as long as people keep on pushing people to talk about it, because it needs to be said, I think you're going to make progress about it. And sooner or later, hopefully it'll be a natural thing to talk about. I think that's needed and really important.
Definitely.
And it's also to a certain extent the role of your family and your parents kind of to allow you to talk about these things. And you guys ever check your weight? When is the last time, and and when you see a change in the number, how does it affect you?
Yeah, definitely.
Really?
I think the last time I checked my weight was like last week, and if you suddenly gain a little bit or you lose a little bit, you're always like, what's going on? Like, what do I need to change? It's always like working on people's minds. I feel.
I haven't checked mine in like a couple of months just because I don't really care. I can tell myself whether or not I feel like I'm fine, like I'm healthy or whatever. That's what concerns me.
But
not
also
like I need to keep on top of it.
Yeah, but also to do with that, I think generally boys too check their weight less because stereotypically we're supposed to be have more muscle, and the goal is always to get bigger, get more muscle, and that means you weigh more.
Yeah.
I think because of that, we aren't that fussed about increasing weight. We're more focused on the looks, and
I think a lot of people face like weight changes over quarantine. Like I know I did, and it definitely affected my mental health a bit. And I went through periods of time where I was like not doing well. But you have to realize that as you grow up, your weight is going to change. As you go through changes, you start playing sport more. Your body needs more food because you need more energy for something that you're doing. Or for growing, even if you're not playing sport, like you're going to go through weight changes, and that's natural, especially being in like a pandemic and going through like a lockdown for months. It's completely normal to experience weight changes. And I think that's just something that we have to normalize, that people are going to experience weight changes, and it's not always going to like be easy, but it is something that happens to everyone.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone's weight is going to be different because people are taller than other people's bones weigh heavier. Like there's just all these things that come into account that people just don't consider. They're just like, how much do you weigh? How much do you weigh? But you can't even compare your weight. Like you're completely different.
Yeah. Like people who weigh the exact same amount but at different heights are going to look so different.
You're going to be, your height or your genes and stuff from your parents will make a massive difference to how much you weigh. And then obviously your height and your like bone structure will make a big difference. I feel that's going to be taken into account whenever, someone says, oh, maybe someone may be a bit too heavy or for how tall they should be. You've got to take a lot of stuff into account. I don't think it's healthy to just go, oh, how much do you weigh? Oh, that's too much. That's not good.
Yeah. Or like, oh, you're 16, you should weigh this amount. That's too high, that's too low. Like I think definitely do your checks on people, make sure that they're in the healthy range. But I think telling someone that they weigh too much or too little, that's really detrimental.
Yeah, that's not. It's not your concern. Maybe you can warn them if you feel it's getting out of control. But from then on, it shouldn't be your job to like tell them, and it's not nice. Maybe some people don't mind it; they just don't want to,
Yeah, focus on yourself, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it's focus on yourself.
Yeah, mention to them if they want to act on it. They want to act on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Up to them. Um, do you guys, if you guys see, I like to believe, at least like, I don't know how honest I am with myself, but I like to believe that the reason I go to gym sometimes, the reason I go for run or whatever, is either for to feel good, to feel healthy, and for, you know, because there's of course benefits of being healthy, and also for sport, because right at current age, whatever, I'm more interested in sport than gym. I don't really like gym. I just go because I believe, if I don't know how honest I am, to feel healthy for sport, whatever.
Yeah.
And the reason I guess you want to be more healthy is because, you know, you believe to a certain extent that you'll be happier, right? But do you guys ever think that if you look better, you'll be happier? Has that, you know, thought ever crossed your guys' mind?
Yeah, definitely. I have always had this picture in my head of how I want to look, and I think that I'm going to be happier. But I feel like I need to just accept myself right now, and then I can move towards my goals. Like, it's fine to have goals of how you want to be or how you want to look, but you need to accept yourself first. Otherwise, you're never going to feel happy. Even when you reach that goal, you're just going to want to look completely different afterwards. You're never going to be satisfied.
Yeah, also you're always going to be comparing yourself to others if you're focusing on what you want your goal to be, because what looks good changes. You know, it used to be like slim, and then like it was like curvy, and it's going to change, and people are going to be like, oh, I want to be slim, now I want to be curvy. And it's said so much, but your beauty is what is on the inside. And it's, you know, you can say like you want to be beautiful, but beauty is again your inside, and it's your self-love of who you are. Like, to me, that is what beauty is. Like knowing someone who loves themselves. I think that's like remarkable. It's confident as well.
Yeah. Okay, just to end, because we're running a bit out of time here. Just end, everyone. I would like everyone just to finish off with a quick statement on individually what are you gonna do to change that, you know, stereotype and to improve on your image of your body. Abdur, what's that?
Okay. I don't know. I feel like I'll just continue doing what I do or what I do. Like it's not something I necessarily focus on because it doesn't concern me too much. Like I'll go to the gym whenever I really feel like it, but that's to feel good. That, oh yeah, I've done something. Not, oh, I want to look better or anything like that. It's like, if I'd much rather obviously go play football, but right now can't exactly do that. So I don't think I'm going to change much about how I look at it, but I do hope that people out there do realize that, you know, it doesn't matter as much as you think it matters. And like, no matter what you look like on the outside, as long as you're a good person on the inside, and it sounds cliche, but it is true. That's truly what makes you a beautiful person.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna try learn to accept myself and listen to my body. That's all I can do with everything.
Yeah, same as Alessia, I think. And I think people undermine how much social media can actually help, but I want to try to start posting more like awareness about it. I think just, you know, on my story or something, just getting it out there so people can see that, because small little things help.
Yeah, and I think same with Alessia and Phoebe, listen to my body more. I think that's the key. Okay, guys. So thank you guys for joining me in Abdur. Pleasure to have you guys. Just for everyone else watching, if you guys have any ideas, anything you'd be interested that you want us and to talk about, please put it in the comments below, and we'll try to you know, make episodes on those, as many of those as we can. So thank you guys for watching, and thank everyone here.